We're going to get started, and it is recording now. So, good afternoon. I'm Becca Stackhouse, and on behalf of the research team, thank you for letting me meet with you today. This interview is two parts. Your first part is demographics.
Okay.
So the demographics, the code, the information ID is that.
This last part? Or
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah, just the last part.
So far.
And then the second part will just be some questions. Our objective is to document the stories behind why people in Georgia do and do not adopt solar energy, and there is no right or wrong answer. We just want to hear what you honestly think and feel. So I'll let you finish that part.
All right. What do I do about this annual income thing? Is it less than insert number 120% average AGI for county? What is that?
I think it's the average income for the county, which is $30,000 annually, I think.
Okay.
So, our first question is going to be, what type of home do y'all live in? Is it a rental or you own it?
We own it. Or buying it.
Slowly buying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the type of, is it a single detached?
Mm-hmm.
When did y'all move there?
2005.
2005. So, you've been lived there 14 years?
Mm-hmm. Right, July. Yep, July 2005, so...
So, right around
13, yeah.
How did y'all end up in Crisp County?
I was raised here.
You were raised here? So, did y'all come back from being away?
No. I went away to school, and then I moved to the next county over. I moved to Dooley County for a couple of years, but then moved back to Crisp. So I've always been here.
Is your husband from here, too?
He's from Wilcox. So, yes, very nearby.
Okay. So, tell us a little more about the kind of home that y'all live in.
I would say it's a ranch style, brick. 3 bedrooms. No. There's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, living room, dining room, kitchen that are all separate. And then there's an add-on in the back that we're currently using as a bedroom as well. But it could be an office or whatever, just a spare room.
So did y'all build your house?
No. It was built in the early 1980s.
So it's been there a while.
Yep.
So, does your house have any rooftop solar?
No.
Why do you not have any rooftop solar? Was it something you decided, or was that made for you?
Well, it didn't have any when we bought the house. We have considered it since then, but just don't know enough about solar power. And then, of course, financial. We'd have to look into some financial assistance as well if it was an option.
So
but just don't know enough about it either.
Would you think the biggest not going to do it is because you don't have the education about it?
Right. I mean, it's not, we don't know enough about it, or know how to go about getting it, or the process, or how it actually work with the electricity that we already have with Crisp County Power.
Mm-hmm. So who do you think you would need to have the information from? The power company or the solar companies?
Both. Because I think that one thing that I would like to have done is to have an assessment of our home done to find out how energy efficient or not energy efficient our home is, and then someone to help us determine what would be the best for our home as far as energy efficiency. whether it be electric power or solar power, or what other options might be out there.
Have y'all replaced your windows and things since it's... No. Or are they all original?
They're all original, and they do need to be replaced. They're the double pane windows, and they need to be replaced. We have gotten a new roof since we've been there, but that's it.
So your energy efficiency would be what you'd look at, and then look at the solar.
Mm-hmm. To see what we would need to do to upgrade to make our home more energy efficient, and then if solar would meet the needs that we had, with our improvements, it might be an incentive to, especially if it was cost effective and saving money on our power bill each month.
So if it were available, it would be something y'all would be interested in putting on your house. It's just finding out the logistics would be what's important.
Yes.
If you have anything to add, you can just talk.
And that's what I was thinking. I mean, like I said, it's been several years, maybe 10 years ago that we were approached by somebody, about the solar panels, and that's it. There's just not. If the companies are out there to do it, they're not in our area, or for whatever reason, they're not making themselves known, making their products known.
So who approached y'all about it?
I don't remember if it was, no, my husband may remember, because he's the one that did it. But it was a company that was selling solar panels, and they would take you we went to America's, to some restaurant, and they paid for a steak dinner for us to listen to their presentation. And then they would have somebody come out to the house if you were interested. And I think that we did express interest, but then after that, nobody else ever contacted us. So, oh well.
I guess you didn't lose anything.
No.
Some of these questions are Okay, so, you have anything else on that part? The next part, we're going to talk about some maps a little bit.
Okay.
This part
yeah, we'll like is, something.
Go ahead.
I see lots of times, when we're doing our taxes every year, and there's tax incentives for improvements for energy stuff. So that would be something that would, I would be interested in, or that would make it more appealing, is if you could, get tax credits for solar power.
So it's finding the education on what tax credits you would get.
And on the cost, and who around here does it. And of course, I'm the kind of person that, if there's several companies to choose from, I would want to, get references and things like that. Just really know that they're going to stand behind their products and their service. Okay. We're looking at maps. Okay.
We're looking at maps. So, this part we're going to identify the communities and individuals who you think are higher in the adoption of rooftop solar energy. What kinds of people you think they are, where you think they live, the information. So we're going to talk about it in general. So we're going to look at the map of the U.S. And where do you think most people have rooftop solar energies on their home? On the map, and draw on the map where you think it is. You can color it, write it, circle it, however you want to identify it.
And what if we really don't know?
Take your best guess.
I would think
it's testing your geographic location.
I would just think that people that live in areas where it's harder to get electricity, maybe like in the mountains or things like that, they have the solar powers on their homes or their cabins. Probably in Alaska, where they get so many more hours of sunlight per day than we do, or per year. And then maybe out in the plains states, maybe, just because there's less trees and a lot more access to solar energy.
So why do you? So I guess you kind of described it. So overall, you think it's more when they have limited access to power, or when they've got more sunlight.
More access to sunlight.
More access
Yes.
to sunlight. Okay.
I guess that's just what I would think. I don't know.
I think it's just something that's the information is so limited. You have to know where to look at.
I mean, like I said, I see in Georgia and a lot of the rural areas, have a lot of the acres and acres of the solar power, but not on homes. So I don't know what the difference is. Okey-dokey.
So now we're going to talk about Georgia a little bit. In the communities of Georgia, where in Georgia do you think there is more rooftop solar? And the ones that are highlighted are just to give you locations, orientation.
For rooftop solar.
Within Georgia.
Well, I would think it would probably be the areas that have companies that provide that service or that product. But not knowing where those are, I don't know. I don't really know. Probably in the more metro areas. So I would say the Atlanta area, Savannah area. I'm trying to think where I may have seen more, but I really don't think I've seen that many rooftops. So I'm just going to say the more metro area.
I didn't start seeing them too much until I agreed to do this project.
Oh,
Then
and now you see them more when you notice them?
Because I'm like, I'll start noticing them more.
Okay, well, and I probably will start looking around more now.
Yeah, and you go, interesting. So what do you think?
So will we get answers to these questions? I mean,
we should.
Okay,
We should
okay.
get. Well, part of this is finding the information, and then it'll come back in some studies of what we find. Now that I don't know exactly what our timeline is on that, but I'll share it when I get it.
Okay.
And then, why do you think the metro areas would have it more than like Cordelia, rural county?
Just because of the companies and where companies like to settle their home offices and things like that, where the competition and more of a demand. And I just don't think that the rural areas have much demand for it because we don't know about it.
So do you have any of your close friends within Georgia that have solar rooftop?
Not that I know of.
I mean, they have.
Mm-mm.
Do you know anybody you know have solar?
Mm-mm. No. I mean, I know a couple of people that have when I think about, what they look like, they have the skylights in their houses, to have the sunlight, but not for power.
Not solar,
So, but not that I know of, unless it's something that I just haven't noticed.
Hey, it'll be a topic for you now. Well, thank you so much for your time, the time you've taken to talk to me about rooftop. And if you have any concerns or would like to reach out, you can contact me or you can contact Jacqueline.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.